Hello, and welcome back, anybody, everybody, but probably nobody. This is ThorW, and we are continuing our journey through Dark Souls 3. In our last episode, we kind of just arrived here at Firelink Shrine. We beat our first boss, and we saw the opening cutscenes and everything. So now, it's time to journey around and explore Firelink Shrine. First off, there's some NPCs, like this dude.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends, with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots.
So if we talk with him, this guy's name is Hawkwood. He gives us the collapse gesture.
What a sick joke. Asking us to seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. We're talking true legends.
So that's pretty much all Hawkwood has to say to us, but he did give us a nice gesture, and if you look at him, he's got a nice sword on his back. So this is a character that FromSoft really loves. Whoops. FromSoft very much enjoys the kind of... Wow, I can't think of the word. I'm sorry, I'm terrible. Anyway, the Crestfallen Knight. Thank you, Brain. Thank you, Brain, for thinking of this. The Crestfallen Knight. This is in the beginning of pretty much all the Souls games. It's pretty much the guy who's slowly given up on the world and life in general, and continues to do so. So, yeah, nice character. So, a couple things I kind of forgot to mention in the last episode. If you look at us, we're kind of glowing in a little bit of light with flame. That is because we are currently, quote-unquote, kindled. We have an ember. If you look in the top left corner, you'll see pretty much some fire spurting around our that little bar thing. That is to note our physical appearance. Now, what being kindled does is that means that you are available for any sort of PvP and cooperative efforts online, and you're able to summon in phantoms offline and get invaded by phantoms offline. And in addition, it gives you a little bit of a health boost on your health bar. So not bad. Let's take a look at our Firekeeper friend. If you notice, she is the girl from the opening cutscene, towards the end of it. There's the little tiara thing. If we take a quick look, you'll notice it completely covers her eyes. She cannot see anything with that. There are no eye holes or anything like that. It is just a very opulent kind of diamond-encrusted, almost made of pure gem, little crown that covers her face. She has a cross necklace, which is pretty nice. And nice embroidery on her clothes. She has a very nice outfit. I really like it. We're not supposed to be in here. We're not supposed to be in there. Just a little more. Oh, never mind. Lewd. Let's see if we can get inside of her head. See, that's about as close as we can get. She's kissing us. Oh god, we're inside. Okay, enough screwing around. We got inside of her.
Pleasure to make thine acquaintance,
Phrasing.
Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont, no?
Alright, so this is the Shrine Handmaid. She sells stuff. We can buy embers. Embers basically act as humanity in this game, as I explained before. They will alight you. You will be kindled with that. Repair powder, purple moss clump, fire bomb, prism stones, homeward bones, white soapstone if you want to do some co-op, dried finger, tower key, This is something we can't really use. Soul Arrow, a basic sorcery. Farron Dart, another basic sorcery. Heal Aid, a basic miracle. Dagger, Short Sword, Scimitar, Halberd, Sorcerer's Staff, Talisman, Torch, Leather Shield, Crimson Parma, Warrior's Round Shield, large leather shield, Chain Helm, the Chain Set, Wood Arrows, and Wood Bolts. She's got a lot of stuff right off the bat. And she can be... and her store will actually get more stuff over time, as we will see a little bit later. So, this is your main merchant for the most part. She sells pretty much... She sells seashells down by the seashore. She sells pretty much everything you're going to want throughout the game.
Ashen One, if my wares are not to thy satisfaction, bring me umbral ash. With ash, I'll fashion new wares. Is it not our sorry fate to sup on death?
So there she goes, explaining
that soppy gossip? That cordial intrusion layeth the path to embers. And so thou art in need of a soapstone, Ashen One. Then thy pockets will overflow with souls to trade to me. Ashen One, is it...
So as you talk to her, you start learning that she's pretty much in the game for, she's in it for herself. She wants souls, and she wants you to bring her souls. And that's her whole deal. She says if you bring her umbral ash, it will increase. She will fashion new items basically from it. That'll increase the size of her shop, and she'll sell new stuff.
One, be sure to bring more souls.
Ashen One. So that's a very Dark Souls thing where they just laugh at the end. So if you look at her, she kind of looks like those ladies from Dark Souls 2 in a way. The old ladies you meet at the very beginning of Dark Souls 2 and kind of tell the story of it. And I think she's supposed to be a reference to them in a way. I think she is. Not 100% sure on it. At least I believe she is. So, pretty much, she's a very selfish person. She's pretty much here to be like, hey, bring me souls. No how are you, no hey what's going on, just hey, bring me souls. Alright, so I'm sure some people have been noticing this happy fella pounding away back here.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith. Such is my purpose.
Alright, so this is Andre of Astora. Did you play Dark Souls 1? Then you know about Andre of Astora. He is a blacksmith. And originally, in Dark Souls 1, he was meant to be Gwyn's brother. But they kind of scrapped the idea. But if you look at him, he has a character model that is extremely close, extremely similar, almost identical to Gwyn's, only a little bit bulkier, a little bit more undead, as you can see, obviously. And maybe even a little bit more unkempt when it comes to his face. Andre continues to defy all laws of physics and blacksmiths without any sort of fireplace or water at all. Which, in case anyone doesn't know, you need to superheat metal in order for it to become malleable, and then quickly cool it in order for it to set in its position. So, without a furnace or any water, Andre somehow makes these weapons. And fixes them and what... Okay, whatever. Anyway, first thing we're going to do is we're going to infuse our longsword into a fire longsword with our fire gem. That's why we started with it. So that costs 1100 souls, which is fine. We still have 80 souls left. And now it becomes a fire longsword, which means that now it loses a bit of physical power, about 50, but gains 99 fire on its attacks, which is going to be pretty helpful. We can't reinforce it. We need a second Titanite shard. We only got the one. But that's how we're going to reinforce.
I don't want to see my work squandered.
So one very special thing about Andre, he's one of the very few NPCs.
Well, 'tis good to see ye in good health. What needs smithing this day?
If you pay attention, his mouth moves. Not many NPCs actually have a moving mouth.
Weapons and protection are sturdy enough by and large, but when overused, they'll eventually break. When their durability is low, repair becomes a necessity. Use a powder, or simply rest at a bonfire. But should chance impel them break, bring them me. I'll hammer them back into shape. They take no pleasure in breaking, I assure ye. So handle them with care, if you would.
So basically he's telling us, hey, if your weapon breaks, bring it to me. If you sit at a bonfire, it repairs it. Weapons have durability, but it's really an afterthought. It's highly uncommon that you're ever going to run into a problem with weapon durability. If you do, a repair powder will fix it. Sitting at a bonfire fixes it. Or if all else fails and for some reason it breaks, just bring it to Andre and he'll fix it.
There are two ways to smith weapons. Simple reinforcement is one, and infusion the other. Reinforcement is straightforward. It strengthens a weapon without altering its property. Infusion is a more advanced form of smithing that infuses an element. Reinforcement requires titanite, and infusion requires gems. Bring the stones, and I'll do the smithing. It's my purpose, after all. In battle, your weapons are your only friends. Forge them well, and they won't let you down.
Hurrah! So if we talk to him a couple times, we get the hurrah gesture.
Another matter. Infusing weapons with gems requires a special kind of coal. My humble coals won't be any use infusing more unusual gems. I know, it's an awful shame, but it's all I have. Oh, please don't give me that look. Believe it or not, I'm quite thin-skinned.
Aww, Andre-chan. So Andre is giving us a nice tutorial while he shoves this sword through our leg and just hammers the crap out of it. Ow. And basically what he says is if you don't have specific coals available, he'll only be able to infuse a couple of the more basic gems. We'll find coals along our journey. Andre is the only blacksmith in this game, unlike in Dark Souls 1 where there are several. So Andre will fit the form of all of the different blacksmiths, but you need to give him the specific coal in order to use the specific infusion. Usually one coal covers about 3 or 4 different infusion types, so we'll be collecting those on our journey.
Oh, by the way, if you find any Estus shards, bring them here. They can be used to reinforce either of your Estus flasks. Without those flasks, you'd want for life or focus. And they'll always stay with you. Why not treat them well? Huh?
Why are you laughing? That's not funny. So, you can reinforce your Estus flask, and you can even allot Estus, so you can get more FP Estus, more Ashen Estus, or more regular Estus. Considering I'm not really going to use any spells right now, we're going to go pure regular Estus for now. We don't have any Estus shards, so we can't reinforce.
Weapons and
and I believe we've exhausted Andre's dialogue. Very nice.
Prithee, be careful. I don't want to see my work squandered.
So he talks about coals. Coals go in a furnace and burn and create fire in order to superheat the metals in order to make equipment. Where do you see a furnace? Where do you see anywhere that he uses coals? Andre. Come on, man. And why can't I just take any of these? Or buy any of these? I don't know. It's weird. Let's take a look at Andre. Look at that. Look at that face. That body. Forever pounding away. So you'll notice there are some pathways, offshoots here in Firelink Shrine. Currently, there is nothing down any of them. They will have stuff in them later on. I'm not even going to waste time showing them off. Now there's one more character, one more NPC we can talk to here in Firelink Shrine. If you paid close attention, this happy fella right over here.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago.
I find that hard to believe.
Lord of Cinder.
Look at you.
If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my child corpse. This sad cadaver. No need to be coy. Have a closer look.
Yeah, I'll give you a closer look. So yes, this guy apparently once linked the fire, but if you look at it, it cost him dearly. He's pretty much burnt out. He is, by and large, as close to a hollow as you can possibly become. He doesn't have any sort of ember or any sort of glow like that. He's lost it. He ain't got no legs, man. He ain't got no legs. What a bitch.
Of our purpose. 5 thrones will take 5 lords as kindling for the linking of the fire. The fast-fading flame must be licked to preserve this world. A reenactment of the first linking of the fire. So it is, I became a Lord of Cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a colossus.
So this kind of goes into the motivations behind Ludleth. He volunteered to become a Lord of Cinder and worked towards that goal because, well, he's pretty small in stature. And I guess maybe he always didn't have legs, which is kind of a possibility for him. But he volunteered to become a Lord of Cinder and be fuel for linking the fire, so that despite his small appearance and small stature in real life, people would remember him as a huge, important piece to the longevity of the world, and basically a god among men.
Knowest thou of our purpose? Far the edge I'm...
And that's it with him.
Now, do not be away over long.
So if you notice, there are the 5 thrones, basically, to sit around. And if we go to the back of them, there is an engraving for each of the Lords of Cinder, so we can know who we're up against. Saint Aldrich of the Deep, who we saw earlier. Ludleth the Exiled here. I'm not sure why he's exiled, unfortunately. But Ludleth the Exiled here, who is cooperating with us. This is the big one, the centerpiece. Holy King Lothric, last hope of his line, who's got a really nice throne. The Watchers of the Abyss. And finally, of course, Yorm the Giant of the profaned capital. And if you look at each throne actually has some very interesting stuff. We saw earlier the Watchers of the Abyss were multiple people. You see that there's multiple swords all over the place. There's also other things that will be more indicative. The largest throne here, a very large one, is here for Yorm the Giant, obviously. And if you look over here at Aldrich of the Deep, the one with the red covering on it, basically a tarp piece, you'll notice that it has, well, basically a tarp covering on it. If you recall, Aldrich of the Deep was some big weird goo monster as it was crawling out of its coffin, so it would make sense that that would be there. Now then, it's time to explore Firelink a little bit more in depth, because we kind of came here, but we didn't really do everything here so far. I wanted to get the NPC stuff out of the way first, so if you take a right outside of the entrance to Firelink, and this is why we did not come out here originally, is because there's some stuff to do. Before we go over there, we have a gentleman over here who is ready to go. This is, well, a katana-wielding edgelord. Take a look at this. Look at that katana. So if you're very lucky, you can do that. And just knock him right off the edge. Now you notice that we got the souls, but he didn't drop any items for us. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna go ahead and take care of that right away. If you happen to knock him off by accident or knock him off in battle, I was gonna fight him legitimately, but he just put himself right on the edge and said, please knock me off. So, you know, I did. So if that ever happens to you, just go back to the bonfire, take a quick rest, you know, take a seat, congratulate yourselves on a hard-fought victory. A very hard-fought victory. Oof, that was rough. And, go right back to where he was, and oh look, there's a little item here. So you notice there are bloodstains. People die to this guy all the time. We get the Uchi Katana and the Master's Attire and the Master's Gloves. Now, if you fight this guy legitimately, be warned, he is powerful. He is very strong. You notice when I hit him the couple times I did, his health bar barely moved. He's got a lot of health. He has very fast attacks, very powerful attacks, and if he ever grabs his sword while it's still sheathed, you do not want to swing at him, he will parry you, riposte, and very likely one-shot you. At this point in the game, you're not supposed to be able to fight that guy very easily. However, we have a big strong shield that blocks 100% of damage, and I kind of knocked him off the edge to cheat, because I'm a cheating cheater, and I'm willing to do that. So sorry I didn't show the fight, but I'm willing to cheat on that guy. Try tongue. Nice. So if we come over here, that's the east-west shield. It's also a trap, because it alerts these guys. You'll notice that that guy kind of flailed around when I hit him. This is what happens when you infuse a weapon with fire and you kill people. Come up here, there's an ember to pick up off of that corpse over there. There's plenty of stuff here to look at to find in Firelink Shrine. Careful over, not quite here, but there's a homeward bone right there. Below this area, there it is. There's a drop you can do right here. And a doggy dog. This is actually the first encounter with dogs that you'll have. Goodbye Poochie. He's guarding an ember over here. We got a nice beautiful view over there. You'll notice that it's like misty as hell down below. Let's see, I believe there's something I missed over here. Maybe not. Oh well. Murder this guy, murder that guy, because, I mean, they're just there to be murdered. They want to be murdered. They need it. They desire it. Also these two. Perfect. And did I go over there and get the thing from over here? Let's find out. I did not. Okay, so let's kill him. So this guy's got a shield. Whoops. This guy's got a shield. Put your shield up. If someone has a shield... Whoops. Come on, put your shield up. Put your shield up, dude. Man, you do not want to cooperate, do you? You kick him. And it knocks their shield out of the way. But unfortunately, the game really didn't want me to do it properly. So, I failed miserably. We'll get plenty more chances to... give examples of that. Luckily, these guys' shields are extremely poor, so you don't really got to worry about them at all. At all. There's a person over there. So this guy's express purpose exists for one thing and one thing only, and we're about to do it. He is very well distracted. Long live the king! Ah, that is so satisfying, just to kick him off of his perch. Wonderful. Enjoyable. Oh, Dark Souls 3, I love it. So now, if we go up to the top area of Firelink Shrine over here, there is some more stuff to see. If you take a look at this, this is a reference to Dark Souls 2. It's the giant tree from Dark Souls 2. Basically, if you've never played Dark Souls 2, you would go up to these and you would enter a vision of the past and then kill the giant associated with it for reasons. So we're about to do a little bit of a sequence breaking. So don't worry, it's not going to do too much for us. Solve a deserted corpse, nice. It's not going to do a whole lot for us, but if you notice this tree, this nice white tree, we can run up... Whoop, whoop. We'll fall off the edge. Run up the side of it. This is a bit of a tricky angle to get. But if you run up the side of it, our basic goal that we want to do is jump onto that roof. Which hopefully won't take a few tries. There we go. So we get onto this roof. We're not supposed to be up here for a little while. This is getting ahead of ourselves. Now we can't get onto the tip top of the roof, which is unfortunate because that's where we need to go for some extra special goodies. But we can go in here. And this allows us to come over into the middle here, which has...
Me, PicklePee. Me, pump-a-rum.
PicklePee Pickle. So we come over to this version of Snuggly the Crow, who apparently really wants us to pickle her pea and pump her rum. Lewd. So, if anyone doesn't know how Snuggly the Crow works, basically you leave an item, and if it's an item that Snuggly the Crow wants, she will trade it for a gift. So, I have a list of everything we can leave here, and I will go ahead and flash on screen what you can leave, but I won't show you guys exactly what the rewards are right now. However, we will leave a firebomb, a regular firebomb, and apparently we have pumped her rum. I feel a little uncomfortable. We get large Titanite shard, which is an upgrade item that we're going to be able to use later. Now we can leave a homeward bone here. Make sure not to use it. So if we leave one pump-a-rum item and one pickle-pee item, we get the call-over emote, which is one of my favorites, and we get the iron bracelets. Now let's take a look at the iron bracelets, because this is something that a lot of people are going to be interested in. Alright, so we've got our night gauntlets, which are nice and all, but let's look at the iron bracelets. Durable iron bracelets protect the wearer's wrist, said to be the bracelets of a knight of sunlight from a previous age. Has no particular powers, but are fine quality and evidently well taken care of. So if anyone knows what this is already, congratulations. For anyone that doesn't, you'll know soon enough. We'll get more pieces to this set, the iron set here, later on. As it stands, I do not believe I have anything else that Snuggly the Crow wants. Doesn't look like it. Firebomb and a homeward bone are two very easy to get items for some very pretty nice stuff. PicklePee, pump my rum, call me a filthy bird and slap me in the face, so we can get an Estus shard from there. And on top of that, well, you'll notice there's some notes there. They're not supposed to be there. But if we hit this, it's an illusory wall. There are illusory walls in this game. So run off to the very edge, fall down, and right over here is a chest, which, once we open it up, we get the covetous silver serpent ring. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, and we're actually going to equip it. Fallen foes yield more souls. A silver ring depicting a snake that could have been, but never was, a dragon. Fallen foes yield more souls. Snakes are known as creatures of great avarice, devouring prey even larger than themselves by swallowing them whole. If one's shackles are cause for discontent, sometimes it is time for some old-fashioned greed. Wonderful. We're equipping that. That means that when we kill enemies, they're just going to drop some more souls for us. This is a very good little ring for us to have early game, because we don't have any other rings to equip. And if you notice, this is the Dark Souls 2 method. We can have 4 rings. Amazing. We can also have 3 weapons and 3 right hand and 3 left hand stuff, which is pretty cool. And 10 little quick slots. There's a lot of variance you can have in your walking around build. If you notice, our weight ratio 63.6% seems very high, but as long as you are below 70%, you have a fast roll. It's a slightly slower fast roll than if I were to say take everything off here. No. Menu properly. So if I took that and went down to 15% and then rolled around in my pantaloons, you'll notice we roll just a little bit faster, we go just a tiny bit farther. However, we lose a lot of protection. It's actually just plain better to have equipment on. And one thing I forgot to do, we didn't really go over the Master's equipment. So let's do that. Master's attire. A terribly worn shirt. Men are fond of weaving tales to explain the raggedness of their garb. My sixth sense warned me of danger, and I danced between flurries of blades, unscathed. But alas, my clothes went to tatters. In the Master's glove, terribly worn manchettes. And same description. So that's the Master's equipment that you get from killing Katana Rama Man. And here's the Uchi Katana. A unique katana characterized by the fine craftsmanship of Eastern land where it was folded over 1,000 times. The finely sharpened blade cuts flesh like butter and causes bleeding but breaks easily. Skill hold. Assume a holding stance to rapidly execute a lunging slash with an auto attack or a deflecting parry with glorious Nippon steer. So, you notice I'm making fun of it. It's because katanas are classically extremely powerful. You'll notice that I would lose a bit of physical power if I were to... I would gain a little bit of physical power if I were to equip this, but I'd lose my fire damage. However, this takes 16 dex to wield, which we don't quite have, and katanas cause bleeding. Now, I'm not sure why some bladed weapons cause bleeding and some bladed weapons don't, because I guarantee if I stab you with a longsword, you're going to bleed just as much as if I stab you with a katana. But far be it from me to question Japan and their logic. Oh yeah, we got this Cleric's Sacred Chime for casting miracles of the gods. Chimes such as these are often given to clerics who become undead. Equip a talisman or a sacred charm to cast miracles. Miracles must be attuned at a bonfire before. Skill Gentle Player. Recover HP for a period of time, albeit extremely slowly. Works while equipped in either hand. I would need 14 faith to equip... equip this. East-west shield, a wooden shield decorated with the ancient symbol of the two-headed eagle. Close to a small shield in size. Wooden shields are light, manageable, and offer relatively high magic absorption, with parry ability. You'll notice it has only 55 physical reduction. In the early game, you don't need magic reduction, fire reduction that much, or anything like that. Physical reduction is what you're really going for, so having a knight shield available is far, far better than having just a little wooden shield that's a little faster. So the Estus Shard. A shard soaked in Estus. Give to the blacksmith to increase Estus. In the old days, it was rare to see an Estus flask far from its owner, but this shard offers hope, however shattered. So basically, it's like a piece of an Estus flask that somehow we can forge into our Estus flask to make a bigger Estus flask, I guess, because what it does is increases the charges of our Estus flask. We're going to go ahead and go talk to Andre, use up that Estus shard. So this is a nice little boon that you can get for yourself in the early game if you get up to that area by jumping off the tree. What this does is it allows you to reinforce your Estus flask by 1, gives us an increased number of uses, we can allot the Estus however we want, and we get the silver serpent ring, so we get a little bit more souls just naturally as we journey through the world. So with that, we can even use the extra souls that we've got. We can level up if we want. We can get one more level. I don't really feel like getting another level. There's something else I want. Let's go ahead and talk to the... I just want to show off that you guys can level. I want fire bombs. How many do I want? I want 16. That'll give me 20 out of 20. You can hold 20 fire bombs at a time. You can store as many as you freaking want. 600. I mean, 600's a lot. I don't think you need to store more than 600. And I'm going to buy the torch. A simple makeshift torch made from an oily rag, wrapped around the end of a stick. Torches such as these are the easiest way to illuminate one's surroundings, but their use comes at the cost of occupying a hand that would otherwise be free. It can be used as a rudimentary weapon to inflict fire damage. It possesses no skill, being an ordinary basic tool. So, the torch is relatively helpful. It allows you to deal a little bit of fire damage if you swing it at an enemy, and it illuminates dark areas, which obviously we want to do in the future. So we see lots of phantoms running around. Don't get too used to that, because I will be starting to play in offline mode from this point on because of the fact that the game is very new and invasions will be super common, and I'm trying to go around and do tons of lore. I don't necessarily want, like, 4 people to come and gangbang me while I'm talking about a pile of bricks that's just so interesting. Like, look at that. Look at those piles of bricks. Oh god, we fell. Look at them piles of bricks. They almost look like chairs. Isn't that fascinating? I wonder what the lore implication of those bricks that look like chairs
The
are.
mark of ash will guide thee to the land of the lords.
So,
Farewell,
I'm sorry, I kind of went through that.
Ashen One. Produce the coiled sword at the bonfire.
Did it.
The mark of ash will guide thee to the land of the lords. To Lothric, where the homes of the lords converge.
So she's basically telling us that we need to use the bonfire to get out of here.
Ashen One, to be un...
Oh, you got nothing else for me, girl. Oh, so sad. Firelink waifu. You are the best waifu. Let me just get a little bit. Almost. Damn, there's nothing. It's a lie. Her legs are a lie. And with that, I think we're pretty much good to go. That is basically everything you can do here at Firelink early on, unless of course you want to kill any NPCs. Don't worry about killing Firelink waifu. I believe she respawns if you do by accident. However, she respawns as well, and I'm pretty sure even Andre respawns. This guy won't respawn. Don't kill the Crestfallen Knight. I don't even know if responds. God, I forget his name. This guy's just so unmemorable for me. But anyway, I'd advise not attacking NPCs. It's kind of a bad policy to go with. So with that, we are good to go and ready to continue our journey on the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this very informative little area, and we're about to actually hit the game proper on our next episode, where we will be heading to Lothric. Stay tuned for that. See you next time, guys, at the High Wall of Lothric.